Food can be a very useful training aid, and certainly when teaching new behaviours, it can be extremely beneficial and can help to create those behaviours much more quickly. However, I think there's a risk with using food, and that is that sometimes we use it too much, too liberally, and too often. If you take the example of a very young puppy, if I think back to when I first started teaching classes, if you came to my classes with your very young puppy and you wanted to teach it to recall, we would say to you, right, get your food out, encourage the puppy to come back. When it gets back to you, make a fuss of it, give it some food. But the chances are that puppy would have probably come back just because the owner called it, and it would have been happy to just been verbally and physically praised. But we actively encourage people to use food all the time. Then when they were teaching loose lead, always use food. When they were teaching pretty much every exercise, we encourage people to use food. And what I think happened with a lot of those dogs is they became so fixated on the food that the owner actually became less valuable to the dog. That puppy that would have come before just to please its owner now says, well, I'm not going to come when you call me unless you give me some food. And it has to be nice enough food, otherwise I won't continue to come back. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you don't need to use food, don't use it. Save the food for the things that you're asking the dog to do that would be something that would require a lot of effort on the dog's part. And you're saying to him, okay, I'm asking you to work harder, but you're getting better paid. If you're using food to teach the sit and the stay and the down and the come and everything else, by the time the dog gets to 7, 8, 9, 10 months old, it may be so bored with food that now you can't offer it food because it's so used to getting food for everything that the food actually starts to become less valuable. So one lesson I've learned over the years would be that now when I'd start with a new puppy, I wouldn't use food unless I was asking it to do something truly exceptional. Maybe I'm asking it to call it away from another dog that it's playing with and it came back. Maybe then I would give it some food. But just for sitting at the curb or coming back when it's called, I would make a huge fuss of it, but I wouldn't use food. The best, hardest work should get you the best pay. If your boss asks you to work overtime, you expect overtime pay. If I'm always using food for everything, there's a risk I could start to devalue the food. Best of luck.